Things are not looking good for MSTR. Check this out. MicroStrategy here with it once again, and that's peaking at $400 per share. Yeah, this is just my breakdown. You guys let me know what it is that you think. And just before you guys say, no, Ricky, you must have a short position. This is why, you want it to drop. I have no open position on it right now. I took a small little short. I ended up closing it. I only made $388 today. So if you know how much I trade with, or you know how much I tend to make on a daily basis, this is such a minute trade, right? It ended up selling off too quickly at market open. And if you were part of my LPP team, you saw that it just wasn't my focus today. It aggressively sold off. I felt like I missed it. And it seems like things only got weaker. If you look at the correlation between the way that it's trading, at one point, Bitcoin was actually pushing up. MicroStrategy was not pushing up anymore. I mean, it had a really strong resistance at 375, which I loved to see because 375 was the support yesterday. So it's just showing you that it's continuously just getting weaker and weaker and weaker, right? Like the numbers speak for itself. You can try to ignore it all you want, but MicroStrategy is trading at 364 right now when previous all-time highs were 548. So it is currently down 33% from previous all-time highs because Michael Saylor continues to dilute your shares. If you want to invest in Bitcoin, invest in Bitcoin. But what business do you have trying to invest in a company that borrows against your shares to continue to dilute you? They only plan to dilute you even more with their most recent vote that Michael Saylor voted and has 47% voting rights. He only got 56% of the votes, so only got 9%. Nonetheless, you think that he's your savior. But all he's doing is using your shares to borrow against that 0% interest so he can enrich himself by buying Bitcoin while you continue to not even gain the small little growth that Bitcoin is currently experiencing. Look at it. I mean, again, it speaks for itself. How much is Bitcoin down from previous all-time highs? I mean, if you look at the 109, what is it down? 3%? That's nothing. Bitcoin is still bullish. Bitcoin is still showing some signs of progress. I mean, there's no break of pattern. It has not traded below 90,000 and it's really holding well. You guys know that I love talking shit on Bitcoin. I have no reason to talk shit about it right now because it's doing a good job. I still think it's overbought. I think it's overbought at 106. I think it should retrace back down to 100 and then we'll see where it goes from there. Is it going to break that support and go back to $90,000 per share just like it did last time? Or is it going to continue to run up? Things in the crypto world, according to Trump and what he just signed, do look good. I like sharing. I don't like talking about the good. I don't mind sharing the good stuff, right? And this is, I've said it many times. I share the good, I share the bad. MicroStrategy is bad after bad after bad after bad. And look at this. It's not rocket science. What happens every single time MicroStrategy runs up to $400 and gets rejected? It sells right back off to $300. It runs up and it sells right back off. I believe MicroStrategy, as long as Bitcoin continues to sell off, MicroStrategy will continue to get rejected and go back down to $300 per share. That means that, again, if we do entertain a potential short from the current price level that we're at right now, if it does end up going to $300, that's about 17% of potential downside. But hey, don't get me wrong. You continue to do you. If you want to continue to bag hold your position, it doesn't hurt me. It doesn't influence me, right? It's like, I do not care. Your gains, your losses are yours. I'm just here to remind you. I'm showing you. I have no open position, but I do plan to short it. I do plan to short it as long as price action supports it. If I see that this thing actively breaks below 360 per share, which was the previous support range, if I see Bitcoin breaking below 100,000, I would love to short the living life out of MicroStrategy. But guess what? One thing that I'll never do is carry a position, or I don't want to say never. One thing I don't want to do right now is carry this short position over the weekend. I'm not going to carry a short on MicroStrategy over the weekend. I like to close out my shorts on a daily basis because I understand that anything can happen. There could be good news over the weekend that gets announced, Bitcoin skyrockets, and MicroStrategy is saved once again and potentially pushes up. We always have to be aware of both sides, but it blows my mind that MicroStrategy bag holders are so narrow-minded that they only think MicroStrategy can go up. If MicroStrategy is so incredibly great, why are you still trading 33% below previous all-time highs while Bitcoin is only down 3% and actually still bullish? It's because your shares continue to be diluted. It's because Michael Saylor continues to borrow at 0% interest against your shares, and he only plans to dilute you even more. Again, it's not rocket science. It is common sense. He's doing exactly what he did back in 2020, 2021. We rallied. just like Bitcoin did, and it came crashing right back down. If you don't believe it, again, maybe you can experience it yourself so you can learn your lesson, right? It's not that complicated. You run with the highs, you sell at the highs, you don't get greedy, and when it sells back down, you can't be surprised. For me, I personally enjoy shorting it. It makes me laugh. It makes me money. There's no reason to overcomplicate it. I have nothing against going long on it. I've gone long on it, and anytime that it approaches the $300 support range, I always acknowledge that that is a support because Bitcoin is still holding above 90,000 per coin. So we'll see where the future takes us. I just wanted to make sure that you guys were all aware. MSTR looks incredibly bearish. Bitcoin is retracing a little bit. And if that continues to happen, we can see an easy retracement back down to $300 per share, which is about 17% of potential downside. I just wanted to share this with you guys so you kind of understand my intention going into next week. I'm not carrying an active short. And again, I like to open up my shorts, make my money and bounce and close them out every single day. I do it live in front of my LPP team. And if you ever want to experience it, to watch it live, it's the second link in the description down below. If not, again, I understand. If you want to continue to hold your position, you do you. Remember, it hurts no one but yourself. So I wish you guys nothing but the best. Please learn from your mistakes. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Hope that earned a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.